This is a really interesting trial, especially given the severity of disease and the predisposition, or sorry, the more deaths that we see in the nursing home and older populations. So Lilly is running this trial in partnership with the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases to see if they can use this antibody drug as a preventive in settings that have had a case of COVID-19, actually going in to try to protect residents and staff at these facilities. Now, what this drug is an antibody that was actually derived from one of the first U.S. survivors of COVID-19, and they're testing it both as a prevention and as a potential treatment. And of course, they're not the only company in this race. Regeneron also started late-stage clinical trials last month. So joining us now to tell us more about this trial and this approach in general is Lilly Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Dan Skovronsky. Dr. Skovronsky, thanks for being with us today. And I want to ask you about this specific trial, but first just tell us about the trials you've been running so far on this drug and any results you've seen so far that tell you about its safety and any efficacy signs.
Sure, thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. So we studied this drug. We just started in patients just over 2 months ago at the end of May. And we started in hospitalized patients just looking at the safety of the drug. And we found that it was well tolerated, no serious adverse events or anything like that. And then we moved to recently diagnosed patients. And so we're actually in the midst of a phase 2 trial in people who just got the diagnosis of COVID-19 or early in the disease course, and see if we can stop the virus from replicating their bodies and slow down or even prevent them from getting too sick. We don't have data from that trial yet. We've just been watching the safety, which looks good. We hope to have efficacy from that first ambulatory trial in the treatment phase, really in the coming month or two.
And when should we expect to see any efficacy data from the phase 1 study in hospitalized patients?
Yeah, so the hospitalized study wasn't designed to demonstrate efficacy. It was just a small number of patients who were pretty sick, but late in the disease course. So they all got better, people on placebo and people on drug. There's nothing we can really conclude from that trial.
I see. Well, tell us about this phase 3 trial, because clearly the burden of mortality in this country, we've seen so much of it from nursing homes, but it's a challenging study to run. And so we understand you're using sort of a mobile research fleet to get to the nursing homes that have outbreaks. Tell us about how you're designing this.
Yeah, this is just an incredible effort for many, many people in nursing homes, from NIH and their collaborators and our own team. We wanted to see if we can help people in nursing homes because the disease has been so devastating. It's just heartbreaking to think about the isolation, the fear, the illness, and death. 40% of deaths have been in nursing homes. But, you know, as you'll know, nursing homes aren't set up to do clinical research. And then to make it even more challenging, we said we want to go into nursing homes within days after they've had the first case of COVID-19. So that's a really tough challenge. And the way that we're addressing that challenge is we've created these mobile research labs. They're essentially RVs that we stripped out the inside, turned them into research facilities. We've driven them and positioned them with staff around the country waiting for outbreaks at nursing homes. And when the outbreak starts, we're nearby, we drive to the site, we set up research there, working with the staff at the facility, and randomize residents as well as workers at the nursing home into this trial. So that's what we just started today. And it's a big endeavor. We hope to enroll 2,400 patients over the next couple of months, and then see if we can prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the nursing homes and the patients who get this drug.
Dan, it's Kelly here back in the studio. If this drug works as you hope in nursing homes, what kind of difference would that make to patients? Aside from the spread of COVID, what would it do to directly help those who contract the disease? And are there any applications for those who might be younger, a little bit healthier than the population that you're testing?
Yeah, we're doing both trials. This trial was really focused on prophylaxis, on preventing the spread, which is how I think if the study's successful, it could absolutely be used, exactly like we're doing this trial. If the nursing home has a case, start administering the drug to other people and staff at that nursing home. But treatment is really important also, as you point out. And so we intend to start registration trials for people who've just been diagnosed with COVID-19, as well as people in hospitals. But one of the things to keep in mind here is that manufacturing capacity is limited. So we think we can make 100,000 or more doses by the end of this year and many more next year, but that's still not enough for everyone who might need this drug to get it. So we have to think about where we can benefit patients the most. I think nursing home patients certainly are one of those populations.